2.
Alrighty. I have everything I need. Sure. No. We need the link.
Yes, yeah. That's stupid, but I'm tweeting it. The link. Well, I've been in Zencaster all day long. That's probably not going to be good, but let's do it.
Why wouldn't that be good? You don't trust your browser?
I do not. 100% do not.
Alrighty. Now I'm ready to go.
One, two. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP the Ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
Welcome, Discord. Welcome, friends. Welcome, family. If I have family listening, I can never be too sure. All right. You ready to kick this off?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. Let's just do it. You're listening to episode 279 this lovely March evening of PHPUgly. And I am your host, Eric Van Johnson, and with me tonight is Tom Rideout.
Hello. I'm your host, Tom Rideout. With me tonight is Eric Van Johnson.
Hello.
Former nominee for the 8.1 release manager, Eric Johnson.
I don't think I was nominated. I think I just kind of begged for votes and got like 3.
Yeah, that counts as a nomination, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3. That's
my kid ran for mayor, and I'm pretty sure she got more votes than I got.
Well, she was an excellent candidate too. I mean, not that you weren't.
She wasn't bad. She probably measured up more for her role than I did. I think. I don't know. Maybe that's the imposter syndrome talking.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
We will never know. So, Elephant not in the room tonight. Not that he's a large individual.
We all were. He's just not anymore.
Yes, he's half the man he used to be. John is not with us. He's okay. He's dealing with some family matters, and we hope he will be back next week. But until then, you're stuck with the two of us.
Yeah. I feel
Should be
bad
short.
feel bad for anybody stuck with the two of us. Specifically anyone named Rebecca.
I know that's true, right? We both happen to land ourselves a Beck.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How you doing, Tom?
Oh boy, feeling good.
Okay.
Yeah, working on a fun thing this week.
Exciting.
Yeah.
As long as it's not project management related, I hope it's like coding. Is it
It's
coding?
It is coding.
Oh, okay.
It's a big refactor. We implemented a service for connecting with bank accounts, downloading transaction data, stuff like that. And we're building a secondary service that does the same, gives us the same features, but acts as a failover or, gives the user a choice of what they want to use. And initially, the system was built for just the one service doing the one thing and being the only thing that did that. And now we're getting sort of the same data, but presented slightly differently. And so I'm creating interfaces for the original service and abstracting the whole thing away from being a mono class into a sort of a compound system with failovers and stuff like that. It's fun building abstract interfaces and stuff like that. Getting to use some of the fun little OOP stuff that PHP has.
Cool. I want to take a moment and welcome everybody in Discord. If you're listening to the audio podcast and you're not on the live stream, you should join us live. We record every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific time. And we have a very active Discord channel at discord.phpugly.com. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Discord.phpugly.com. Yeah,
That's
pop
what it
in
be.
there. So many right now. I almost slipped up on something else because I've got so many logos in my Discord now. I don't even know which one to recite anymore. But so yeah, great group of people in there. Everybody's in there all week long, chatting back and forth, and then during the show, everybody can have their feedback. They can contribute titles if you do exclamation point title and then type in the title of the show. We may use it as the official title. We typically will because I'm way too lazy to come up with my own titles.
It is purely a laziness thing.
That's totally it. Trust me, in the past, I don't know if you remember, in the past, I had this brilliant idea that each episode of PHPUgly would be a folder in a GitHub repo where listeners could contribute show notes. That's how lazy I was. I was like trying to get the listeners to write our show notes for us. And that just didn't work. So I got smart and wrote a bot. And now I have a bot that writes our show notes for us. I'm actually quite proud of that.
Yeah, I was thinking for a while that our users would maintain a subreddit for us. So I'm still the moderator of the PHPUgly subreddit, but there hasn't,
a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it still exists. It just hasn't been any activity in 4 years.
I think that's about the last time we had a good show. So that tracks.
Yeah, episode 99. That was the last time I updated the subreddit.
Episode 99?
Yeah. Yeah.
Back then, it's so funny. When we first started doing the show, obviously we had absolutely no idea what we were doing. Our equipment was horrible. It was, even the way we spoke was done poorly. And it used to take me like, no exaggeration, like an entire week to edit our podcasts.
Oh yeah. Now you've got
so
the editing
painful.
down so that you do it while me and you were just hanging out after the show.
Yeah, I mean, we usually wrap up. We usually wrap up the live show about an hour 15.
Yeah.
And then we hang out with Discord for like another 15 minutes. And then, you and I and John will usually hang out for another 10, 15 minutes. But that last like 30 minutes, I've already started creating thumbnails, editing the podcasts. And yeah, it's so fast now. So, yeah. I don't know why I thought to bring that up.
What have you been doing this week?
So, man, I'm working on some fun stuff. I told you about my migration to PHP native enums from a spotty package in the Laravel client. That ended up being not a lot more work. The code base doesn't have any tests, so there's no way of like running tests and making sure everything is still working correctly. And they used enums, the spotty package, fairly extensively in the application. So obviously I missed a few things. And so I was deploying to production and right away Bugsnag starts pinging me saying, "Hey, I don't this is not a valid enum." I'm like, "Oh crap." So it was like a good 24 hours. And I say 24 hours because it was like the end of one business day, the beginning of another business day of just triaging, all the little kind of places I missed enums or didn't implement them correctly. But it's been, knock on wood, it's been pretty quiet for the last 3 days. I rolled it out Monday, and like I said, Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning, I was kind of triaging things. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday now, been pretty smooth sailing. I assume everything's okay. The client hasn't complained.
It's funny that you say that because, like I'm working on this big refactor to an abstract service away from where I had a concrete service before. And man, I just love that I can like make a big batch of changes and run my test suite. And my test suite's like, yeah, everything's still working great. Like our test suite is so fragile that if I were to make a mistake, I know it would be caught by it. And it's just so nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some tests done. That was actually the ticket I got moved onto. This is the same client that wants to start to introduce tests. And I got moved onto that ticket while the enum stuff kind of settled. The client didn't want me like getting too deep into any other code just yet. And of course, the first thing I wanted to start doing is like I wanted to start looking for those enum issues and writing tests for them. But then he pivoted me today actually to migrating their search engine. So they have a pretty heavy search system, and they were looking for some other solutions. So I'm testing like 3 or 4 solutions out. I'm a big fan of the melee search. It's not.
I haven't heard of that.
So it blimped on my radar when I was doing the PHP Roundtable website. And I needed search. I'm like, man, I really don't want to use Angola again because it's like if you're on their free tier, you got to throw their logo up, and I just didn't feel like dealing with it. And so I had found Melee Search, and
how's that spelled? Because I looked up Melee Search, and I'm just getting Super Smash Brothers videos.
MEILISEACH. That it? Did I spell it right? MELI. Yeah.
MEILI search.
I'll put it in our Trello board so that it pumps to our Discord. So it's an open source search. It's super simplistic to implement, and no sooner do I implement it for PHP Roundtable, I start seeing it pop up in all these Laravel feeds. And now I guess it's like with Scout, it's just one of the search. Like I think it's like the search you can implement in Scout, and it's so easy to
Really?
implement. Yeah, it's so easy to implement. I mean, they have Docker containers. They have little DigitalOcean scripts where you just basically hit one of these like deploy buttons, and it just spins up a DigitalOcean server for you. I like it a lot.
Wow, it is. It's Algolia. The Laravel Scout supports Algolia and Melee search out of the box, and that's it. As far as services.
Yeah. So one of the drawbacks to it, first thing, it's super simplistic. There is a admin interface that lets you see what you're indexing, and it lets you run some basic queries and stuff that way. But like, doesn't have some of the more advanced features that Algolia has.
Right.
So I was playing around with that, and then something else. The client is a heavy user of AWS, and AWS has a couple of search solutions. They have their own Elasticsearch, which I guess they renamed it to Open Search or Open Cloud Search or something. I think is what it's called. And man, every time I try to do anything in Amazon or in AWS, it's just so overwhelming with all the security and how you have to configure shit, and nothing ever works like it's Elasticsearch under the curtains, or it's like Elasticsearch base. The base of it is Elasticsearch, but they mess with it just enough where like basic Elasticsearch stuff doesn't seem to want to work with it. But that doesn't matter because I can't get past all the security in configuring stuff correctly.
Well, I got and the worst thing is they're one of the ones that does it the best.
I know.
I have issues where I'm trying to implement an API and I have to ask somebody who doesn't know what an API is what the API keys are, and like walk them through an interface that only they can have access to, and it's 2FA, so I can't get the password from them and then just log in, and
yeah. Yep. So I'm having a lot of fun with this client right now. They're giving me they're like loosening my kind of leash a little bit, and I'm kind of like the Black Ops person, where I kind of do all this like
SEAL Team 7.
I just like come in. I was like, all right, I really want this, and it's like, all right, man, I can do that for you. I do a lot of PSE stuff for them, so it's fun.
Nice.
Well, that's about it. That's pretty much been my week.
I did a couple interviews this week, and that's always interesting. I'm not an interviewer person. I just sort of, I think I get just as nervous as the person being interviewed. I sort of lock up.
That's a good sign. I got to be honest with you. It's a good sign. I like to hear that.
But I have a question for you. Like, let's say somebody is perfectly technically capable, but just doesn't feel like the right fit for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Do you immediately pass on it right then, or what do you do?
Who says the person doesn't think they're the right fit, or you think they're not?
I don't think it's a fit.
I mean, there's a lot of factors involved there, right? It's how much do they have to actually interact with the team? How much? I mean, that's the biggest factor. You guys are remote, right? You guys are 100% remote. Yeah. So you don't even have to worry about that. Oh, he doesn't have to interact with the team, but they don't bathe a lot, and it makes everybody upset, sort of thing.
Okay, feel personally called out by that, but whatever.
I like to take the approach of like a sport scout who's looking for a member for their team. And we've talked about this in the past. I like to do my homework. I like to kind of scout them and kind of get an idea of who they are. But end of the day, you've got to trust your gut, right? If you don't think they're a good fit, there's probably a reason for that. It depends on if they're a direct report too. It depends on how much they're going to cost. If they're cheap and they don't have to answer to you, I don't know. Maybe you just let them slip in. It allows you to move on.
So
But in
that
general-
I don't know, because that comes to another issue is that our team sizes are getting big. Like my Zoom
Mhm.
meetings in the morning now, my stand-ups starting to really fill the screen out pretty well.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much longer that's going to be the case. We're going to split into more teams or what we're going to do. But man, we have a lot of developers.
Yeah, you're gonna hit that threshold at some point where, yeah, I don't know. I mean, hiring is such, it's such a challenge. I mean, it's a big deal for me because it's my money, so I take a personal interest in it. But even when it's not your money, it's even a bigger deal, right? Because then because if I hire somebody bad, I'm the one paying them, and I'm the idiot that hired them. So
Well, and this is a startup with startup culture. There's a lot of work hard, work fast, get shit done attitude,
mhm.
and that's the thing I'm looking for the most in these interviews beyond the technical skills is the like, do you want to buckle down and kick ass?
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know if I would be good in that position. But where I was going with my statement earlier is that I almost think it's more challenging for you because you hire a dud. All of a sudden, you're like, oh yeah, I'm sorry you wasted $40,000 on that developer who just turned out to be a complete pain in the ass and disrupted our whole workflow. My bad. I'll try better next time.
Yeah.
It's like
I think it's a lot more than $40,000.
I assume they don't work the whole month.
Well, no, but we're dealing with recruiters, and as you know, if you go through a recruiter, that's like a 10%
Yeah.
upfront cost for
Well, how do you
annual
feel
pay.
about recruiters? I'm personally not a fan of recruiters. I never entertain their emails. It's a nonstop email flow from recruiters.
You're very
what are your
involved.
needs?
You're very involved in the community in
Mhm.
San Diego, so you have a lot of people that you meet up with on a regular basis that are like available to be hired.
Mhm.
A lot of the Diego Dev crew is SDPHP members that folded into Diego Dev. It's like you haven't had to deal with the recruiters because you've got people,
Mhm.
but I can definitely see like needing a recruiter when you're looking for a certain position that it's not a person
Mhm.
hiring an SDET, a
But
software developer in test is like, I don't know where I'd start with that.
that's the whole thing. It's not only the user group is a great source for that. If you have a PHP user group in your area, strongly recommend getting involved because that whole networking thing, even if you think it's an icky thing, exactly what Tom is talking about is real.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that whole whole I know somebody who's hiring or somebody starts to hire and they're like, hey, I remember you got your job through a user group, right? One of your job, not the one you're at now, but one of your previous jobs you got through a user group. And it was that whole, hey, I remember we met this person at the user group who looked like they might be a good fit for it. And they reached out and talked to you. Yeah. The PHP community. But where I was going with that is it doesn't have to be a user group. You just have to find a way to get involved with the community. I mean, we have that here with our Discord, and I love our Discord. I'm in our Discord probably too much. I probably contribute more in our Discord than I do our company Slack because our our company Slack, I like to stay back and wait for somebody to call me in because there's an issue. But find a niche, find a community to be a part of. It doesn't have to be in person, but find a community to be a part of. You'd just be surprised between Discord, the friends I've made at conferences, the friends I made at user groups, and my Twitter feed. Oh yeah, I'm surprised you don't come to me and say, Eric, we're looking for this person. I know some people.
It's true, and our community has some pretty. Our Discord has some pretty big names in it.
I think so. I like our Discord. Yes, Kaylin, one of our Diego Dev people. Not our first. Kaylin, were you our second hire? I think Kaylin was our second hire at Diego Dev. No. Is that right? I think that's right. I think Kaylin was our second hire at Diego Dev. And he was a user group member. So I think we're only down to actually 2 user group members working for us. I don't think anybody else was a SDPHP user group member.
No.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, John and I might be missing somebody. Kaylin, tell me if I'm missing anybody. But Kaylin left San Diego. He bailed. And,
I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
It's too expensive.
Oh, dude. What's gas out there right now?
$4.30-ish.
We're over $6 for the cheap stuff.
Ooh.
It's horrifying. I got that hybrid just in time, man. I tell you.
What happened with the hybrid?
We have it. We
keeping it.
Yeah, we kept bouncing back and forth. So we went the CarMax route. Anybody who's been listening for the show knows that I'm a big fan of CarMax. And I had 30 days or 1,500 miles to return the hybrid. And I kept looking online because I wasn't 100% happy with the mileage I was getting. I was still getting about 30 miles per gallon, depending on how I use the hybrid. That's the important part.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it was, but it would drop down to like 20. So if my battery was completely drained, which I can actually run off the battery for like 14 miles, where I'm just completely, on the battery,
right,
and then it kicks into this hybrid mode. If my battery's completely drained, and I'm pushing the car really hard, that 30 would easily drop down to 25 and sometimes drop down lower than that. So the wife kind of started to get like that feel of, hey, I like this whole being on electric thing. And, it was like a game with us to see how far we could drive, because there's so many factors involved. Depending on how long you let the car, when the car coasts, it actually charges the battery and all these other things. So we'd see how far we could go on total battery before the gas kicked in. And we both started to get this feel of, the combustion engine kicked in. Damn. So I was really on the fence of taking it back and going fully electric, because we have gas cars. I mean, it wouldn't have been our only car. So I was like thinking maybe this is the opportunity. And actually, when we went and saw Harry Mack, that was when we kind of had to decide, because I just turned over 1,300 miles. So I told Beck, I'm like, hey, we have to decide this weekend, what are we doing here? And so I had been looking at other hybrids, and it's like they all get about the same mileage, or worse than what we're getting. So it didn't make sense to turning in for another hybrid, and turning in for a full electric. The only thing that was like kind of in my price range was the Teslas,
right?
And I don't know, man. I'm just not there yet, and I get mixed feedback from people. Oh, you're not going to fit in this model Tesla. You've got to go with that model Tesla. And of course, that model Tesla is, always $20,000 more than the other model Tesla. And I really want that truck. I really want the Ford F-150. But so we decided just to keep what we had, keep the hybrid we had. And then maybe most likely the next car we get will be a full electric. I don't know what it's going to be, but I think it's going to be a full electric. Although, yeah. That's going to be the next car the wife and I get. The kids need to get new cars, but they're turning 24. They can go get their own car.
Yeah, that's their problem.
Exactly. So yes, to answer your question, we still have the hybrid, and probably we're stuck with it now. Whether we like it or not, we're stuck with it. But we like it. It's an older car. It's 2016, so it's older. So it doesn't have like a lot of new fancy, tech stuff in it. But it's still a nice car. We're happy with it.
I might be looking for a new car, even though I just bought one. The minivan had an incident. One of the children's first car accidents.
Oh no, are they okay?
Yeah, they're fine. Just still dumb.
Their fault, or
I don't know. It's
maybe you should comment on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's God, having a car get taken out of service is such a stress.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
we had that.
Not worth it.
So we have 5 adults that live in the house right now. And when we moved to the new house, we were down to 4 cars.
Right.
3 of the people, no, that's actually not true. 4 of the people, with the exception of myself, 4 of the people still make regular trips down to San Diego for work. So every day, somebody in this house is driving to San Diego.
That is
so
unnecessary.
The cars that we had, the 4 cars that we had, were all very heavy on gas, but this was before the gas issue and the miles. I think the least miles any car had on it was 130,000 miles. So this is one of the reasons why I looked for the hybrid. I go and I get this hybrid. Now we're up to 5 cars. Everybody has a car now. Everybody can get to San Diego. A couple of the cars are pretty good with gas. One's like a Volkswagen Jetta, another's cheap. My wife's car, which was a Pacifica, was being used by one of them, and then my wife and I would share between the new hybrid and my old truck. And basically, we'd use the hybrid every time we went anywhere with distance. And no sooner do I buy that new car, my wife's old car, which one of the people in the house were using to drive back and forth to San Diego, completely dies. The whole engine is dead. I had it towed to the mechanic, and the mechanic calls me up because, listen, man, I really don't want to work on this car. I will if you want me to. He's like, but it's going to be really expensive, and it's just I don't want to do it. So now we're down to 4
and
cars
as a coder, we can absolutely understand.
100% understand that statement.
I understand you're paying me, and if this is really the job you want me to do, but man, I don't want to do it.
That's right. Yeah, completely. It was that exact thing, and so I'm like, no, that's all right. We need to. I actually still have it here at the house. I need to donate it to one of those charities or something like that. So we're down to 4 cars again. Somebody needs to buy a car. It's not going to be me. I bought all my cars.
Yeah, and I'm going through the hey, employment's available. I'm not sure why you're not working. And it's nice to have money. I'm sure you know that. Just do it. Make money, please. And we're going to be looking at buying a house in a year, which is just the idea of that is starting to stress me out on its own. It's not a fun market right now.
You guys are going to stay there in Colorado?
I mean, yeah, unless we can sneak away in the middle of the night without the kids. Just trick them somehow. Yeah, I'm not sure. We love it here. I don't see any reason to leave yet.
Cool.
Although everyone who's a native here complains about how expensive everything is now, and they blame Californians for making everything expensive.
That's probably fair.
Yeah, sure, but it's also employing everybody, and I love when my friends who are in construction complain about all these people moving into the town, and I'm like, you build houses. Who do you think it's for? This city's not having that many kids that you need a whole new suburb every couple months.
I got a question for you, Tom.
Fire away.
Oh wait, no. Actually, this isn't relevant to you anymore.
What?
You don't do PHP Storm anymore at all, right?
No, not at all.
Okay, never mind then. Not relevant to you. I just realized something else. God bless America.
We
So PHP Storm has their early access program kicking off right now for 2021.1. I don't know which version I'm on, and I don't care enough about PHP Storm anymore to do the early access stuff. I was curious if you were doing it or not.
I really haven't touched it in a while. So, wouldn't
Still
they be on
rocking.
2022? Yeah.
That's what I say. 2022.1.
Yeah, they're on 2022.1 EAP 6.
Yeah. So I was curious if there's anything good in there. I don't do it a whole lot. Although I've been trying to. I've been using PHP Storm more. I go back and forth on it now. I try to, especially when I spend a long time with Vim. I like to bounce back over to PHP Storm, if nothing else, to get my Vim bindings in sync. Because I start doing something one way in Vim, I'm like, God, this really feels good. Then I'll go back over to PHP Storm. It's like, oh crap, I still have that old mapping in PHP Storm. I need to update that.
Well, we discussed Spotty last week. Spotty.
Mm-hmm.
The Media Library Pro vulnerability, which is now patched. But Frick Vanderherten wrote an apology email to everyone saying, yes, we let this thing sit for 4 months because we didn't quite understand what the problem was. And we didn't even know that the CVE had been published until we saw it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And they created a security@spotty.be email that pings everyone on the dev team, and they're monitoring everything much more closely. And it's very interesting because I realized, we don't have a similar like security response thing that I can think of or that I know of in my system.
Mhm.
And like, what do you guys have for security response stuff? Do you have anything like this?
Not really. No. I mean, again, we're a small studio, and of course, when something does go sideways, the clients expect us to be able to reply pretty quickly. But ultimately, it's a cost issue. We can't give them more resources than they're willing to pay for.
Sure.
So it's kind of one of those things. It's like, oh yeah, you would like a full-time security person? All right, that'll be another $130,000 a year. Are you okay with that? You don't want to pay that? Well, okay. We have this a lot. One of the things we've been trying to do is we've been trying to partner with. I say partner with. We've been trying to pay for some of these like monitoring services, these scanning services, these security audit services.
Right.
Dude, they're not cheap. They're not cheap. And again, we're a small company, so where we're willing to take some of the hit, we definitely need to spread that kind of pain out across clients. And so those clients who are always looking for that extra level of security, when we go to pitch these ideas of, okay, would you be willing to give us this much extra a year and we will sign on with the service? It's the same conversation. Nobody's interested until something bad happens.
Yeah, it's a bit of the backup paradigm. You don't
Mhm.
realize how important your backups or how long you've been missing them until you need them.
Mm-hmm. Which hey, that's a good lead in. Last wait, what month are we in? We're in March, right? This month is actually has National Backup Day, World Backup Day, and it's in this issue of PHP Architect magazine. So somebody had wrote it. It's funny how this works. I really don't know how Oscar did this all by himself. It's just absolutely amazing to me that he did this by himself. But we have like a little powwow between me, John, and a few other people on when articles get submitted. And I feel like we use our columnists a lot more too. I don't know if they like it. I don't like it. I hope they like it. Like our columnists, our regular contributors will get a version of the magazine like 2 or 3 days before we release it. And their whole thing is they make sure their column looks correct, and then they'll look through the magazine and see if they see other errors. And it's helped us out tremendously. I can't tell you how many things have been caught. And 90, I don't want to put a number on it, but Oscar catches most of them. I'm like, dude, we'll pay you to do this if you're interested.
No, he doesn't want that obligation.
Oh my God, he is brutal, man. I always hate like when you start seeing him typing in Discord. It's like, oh, here comes Oscar. Here he comes. He'll just like start hitting you with a list of things. But so yeah, somebody had suggested writing an article about World Backup Day. I'm like, what are you gonna write? Like, you're just gonna write back up your stuff? You know, it's like I didn't
It's
really
just a big headline.
appreciate. They did a really good job. It was Scott Keck Warren. We actually still have to do the PHP Architect podcast. He did backups for beginners. I'll put it up to my camera. He actually did a really great job. So it tied into the whole World Backup Day. So if you're a subscriber to PHP Architect, go look at this month's edition. And if you're not, you should be. That's all I have to say about that.
You know who else is a sponsor of this show?
Who would that be?
When you're in production, 1,000 things can go wrong. You could deploy a bug in your latest release. Your background jobs can silently fail. Someone could trip over the network cable at your data center. And this all comes back to you. You need to know when bad things happen and be able to respond to them quickly. That's why we built Honeybadger. It's easy to install Honeybadger in your back-end applications and front-end JavaScript. It only takes a few minutes of configuration and you'll have monitoring done. That's because we hook into popular web frameworks, job systems, and the browser, so that when any of them crash, we can automatically let you know. We ping your application from our global fleet of servers to let you know about problems with connectivity, latency, and SSL certificates, and we monitor your recurring jobs to see if any of them stop recurring. When there's a problem, we alert your team using the tools you already use. We can create issues in GitHub, Jira, and other issue trackers, and send notifications via Slack, PagerDuty, or other channels. When you click through, you'll be taken to detailed information on the error. You'll see things like request parameters, headers, user information, and the backtrace. Click on any line of the backtrace to view it in GitHub, Bitbucket, or your local editor. When you fix a problem, just mark it resolved and follow up with the affected user. That's Honeybadger. We're the monitoring tool for web developers who'd rather be, well, developing.
Thanks, Honeybadger.
Thank you, Honeybadger. I like those guys. Honeybadger's been so good to us.
They are. They're great.
Yeah. So yeah, man.
I mentioned
What's
this.
going on?
I mentioned this last week. That we'd be discussing this week.
Oh, did I forget to do some homework?
Yeah.
Shit.
That's okay. You'll know right away what I'm talking about when I say magic.
I think you expect too much out of me.
No, nothing.
We're not talking magic methods, are we?
Well, a bit of magic methods. So, Matthias Novak wrote a blog post about too much magic in some programming nowadays. And I had an interview this week that also said that one of their complaints about Laravel was too much magic. There's just sometimes you don't know what's happening or why. and
So,
it can be
can I ask you- can I
difficult
ask-
to follow it.
Couple questions with
Sure.
that, because I hear that complaint a lot, and I think it's valid. But a lot of times, I think that people who say it just say it because they know it's a gripe. When
mean
does a
me?
magic method? Huh?
Do you mean me?
No. When does a magic method concern you? Because in my head, and I understand the concerns around magic and magic and things like frameworks, but in my head, it's just like any other method or anything else you're doing. You give it an input, you expect an output. So what happens, behind the scenes? How is that really any different than, when I say, array merge in PHP, what's happening behind the scenes there? When does a magic method concern you and why?
So the place in Laravel where it happens the most is in mutators and accessors on eloquent models. So you just name a method the right thing in the right way, and it becomes a property of that model. So if you have a get full name attribute method and you call full underscore name, it will call that method when it doesn't find those attributes already existing in the system. And that's one of the places where I think it gets the most overused. Now, Laravel 9 actually changed this. This is one of the new features of Laravel 9, which is that you can assign something as being an accessor or a mutator by giving it the type of attribute. So the return type is an attribute, and that gives you an accessor and a mutator class that you can reply with. And that's, to me, the right way to handle it. But then, you can get into some stuff where if you jump into Laravel, you'll just be lost immediately. Like, how is a model accessing the table name?
But so that's my point. It's like, I don't want to jump into Laravel. That's why I'm using a framework. I want that ease. I want that magic.
Go on.
No, I mean, I think that's what you're saying is true, right? It's like a lot of people say, well, how's Eloquent actually working? I don't care. It works. As long as it works as expected or works as advertised, that's what I'm concerned about.
Well, that's where the trouble is when it doesn't work correctly or when it doesn't work as expected. I have a PR that's sort of been sitting for a month because it uses so much magic. It uses so much of this fancy reflection class and debug backtrace reading that no one's comfortable saying, I trust this is going to work when it goes in production, even with a full test suite. And I don't blame them. But now I have to sort of go back over the whole thing and rewrite it as if it weren't magic. I have to rewrite it using methodologies that are very concrete and solve the specific problem. But the specific problem is defined so generally. It's a very tricky problem. And yeah, PHP Magic is awesome, like our Discord is saying here. But it should never be used because the programmer is lazy. It should only be used when you need it. That's a good quote. Thank you, Stu. And I think that's true. There's a lot of magic in Laravel that's for the lazy. And
I think that's kind of one of the driving principles behind frameworks in general. They could be wrong there, but.
Well, I don't know. Symfony is not really for the lazy.
That's true. That's valid.
But it uses Doctrine, which uses magic attribute tags. So it's not great either.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's so
this article you were talking about, I kind of took you off your track there.
Yeah, so this article sort of asked the question of like, if you can do it with Magic, why not do it with concrete implementations? Why not go around the Magic and write it the way that it's readable on a single execution? And I guess the end conclusion of the article is try not to use Magic when it's too much Magic. Try to like assess how much abstraction you're really getting away from when you're doing this thing. Some of the code style sniffers just can't handle Laravel, and Larastan is a static analysis that exists just for Laravel because of Laravel's Magic is too confusing for the normal PHP static analysis. And I agree. I think that it can be. I mean, you've argued that IDEs other than Vim are a crutch for weak programmers.
And that's exactly how I use them. I've been yelled at for that, but yeah, I have said that in the past. Yes.
Yeah, and I think some of this Magic stuff, it can be very similar. It's just sometimes it feels like a crutch. Now when I write objects for in my Laravel application, I never write them as the Laravel style static implementations. I always write them as classes that don't have service layer and facade layer attached to them. Because to me, that's a Magic that's not necessary. It cleans up a lot of the Laravel internal code and like the Laravel standard stuff. But everyone who knows Laravel knows that stuff at this point. If I start writing something new like that, they're not going to understand why it's written like that.
I'm not sure I totally follow what you're saying. Like when I'm in Laravel, so set aside my history. I have a history of embracing like the repository pattern where I like to have the repos and the interfaces and all that. So let's just kind of table that for a second, because that's just me and my weirdness. If I'm writing something in Laravel, I'm either writing 90% of the time, it's either a controller or a model. I'm doing something in a controller or a model. What did you mean by you don't adhere to like what'd you say, the service and the service layer and whatever else you said?
Yeah, so Laravel has a service layer where you can assign a facade to one of potentially many different objects at runtime or post runtime. You can say, when I say mail, I mean Swift mailer and not the mail faker. And I don't use that as much as I could because it abstracts some of the ideas away of what it is we're trying to achieve. Now, I don't work in controllers and models that often. Almost everything I do is a service. My biggest controller is probably like 30 lines.
That's good. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of small controllers, and there was even like this this pattern in I saw it in the Laravel community. There might be other communities, but like even you have your whole RESTful. One of them is the RESTful, right? You have a controller and you have your RESTful methods in there. And let's just say it's like I don't know, like a user controller, and it'll have your index, your update, your delete, all those. But where I might slip in other kind of user specific things in the user controller, like I don't know, like a hobbies method. I'm like, oh yeah, I want them to have a hobbies method. So I'm gonna create this method within the user controller for hobbies. There was this kind of concept of no. Then there's a user hobby, controller with the create, the update, and I think and you can even go where each rest method was its own controller. And
Yeah.
I just like I like it because I like the small controllers for sure. I've worked in code bases where we were talking about last week where one controller was like 5,000 lines wrong, 5,000 lines long.
Both are correct.
And yeah, it's
No,
just like,
I know the controllers that you're talking about. I've worked in that code base too, and yeah, those are some thick with 2 C's controllers.
mhm.
Lots and lots of logic being done, and duplication of logic across controllers, which that's the really bad part that you get from having big controllers.
Mhm. So you don't. So yeah, the small controllers I'm definitely a fan of. But you say you do most of your stuff in services. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah, it's most of what we do is integrating a new service that just produces a line of JSON that's returned by a resource object.
Interesting.
So the controller really never sees any changes. Now, one of the big issues we have is where
that seems like now is that pro solid or is that against solid? I don't know anymore.
it's
'Cause
pro
I know-
it's pro solid.
Yeah, because solid
Because none of the
you're
things
supposed
are
to be able to- nothing
Yeah,
changes, right? The
right.
the underlying code doesn't change. You just add to it.
Right, and none of the things are aware of the other things that are calling them. Everything really stands alone and can be called without even being part of Laravel if I needed to.
Hmm.
Which was an interesting debate that I had. I had a parent object that was looping child objects to see if they were allowed to be run by a user, and the user was being passed in to the child object, and I was saying, no. The child objects should never know about the user. Permissions should be defined completely outside of it. And it was a big debate because it ended up with, well, it has to be this way because we have to check at this granular level. So how do we do that without passing the user object in if permissions are being managed by Laravel?
Hmm.
If we're using guards and stuff. And it's with solid design, you can have hours of debate over little nitpicky implementations. But when building a greenfield application, I feel like it's paid off to have those debates because then at least at the end, everyone's on the same page of what we're going to do moving forward. They might not be on the same page with why we're doing it that way, but in the future, they're gonna follow the rule that was established by that conversation.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I have to look into that. I found a couple articles. I posted them in our Trello board, so I'll have to swing back around on those.
You know what else we should?
Let me ask you a question real quick.
What
else should we look into? You feel like you're leading into something?
Our patrons on Patreon.
Yeah, that's fine. Put them up. Thank you, Patreon.
Look at that sparkle. That is so pretty.
Is this the last thing? Next month, or is?
Oh wow!
No,
right on the cusp.
Right there. We can't even do an April Fool's show where we just talk about Ruby or something. That would have been awesome.
It would be an even more boring conversation than normal. I know nothing about Ruby.
I don't know that whole lot about PHP. It seemed to do okay. So let me ask you a question, Tom. You can keep the Patreon people up because we appreciate them so much. Are you a GIF or a GIF person?
I'm a GIF person.
You're a GIF?
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know what I am anymore. I would have to catch myself saying it. I think I'm.
Do you say graphic interchange format?
What?
Giraffic interchange format.
No, I do not.
So then you're a GIF person.
Anyways, the creator of GIF or GIF, however you want to pronounce it. I assume it's
He
GIF
does call it. He calls it GIF.
because he's holding a can of Jif peanut butter.
That is a
assume
Photoshop.
Oh, is that Photoshop?
That is, yeah. The Jif peanut butter is spelled with a J.
Is it? I didn't even
Is it?
look at it. All right. Anyways, Stefan Willett. How do you pronounce that last name?
Will it?
It's a G.
You took
It's
my card
GIF.
away.
No, I didn't. I moved my card.
Wilhite.
Wilhite. Stephen Wilhite, the creator of GIF or GIF, has passed away at age 74. It's so weird. Like the people who made the internet are now dying. It's like what is going on?
Yeah. Well, we've got people like one person maintaining global DNS and like it's
NTP.
NTP. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's wild.
Yeah. So that's all I had.
Yes, he's a huge proponent of the GIF pronunciation
I think I said GIF. I think that's what I say.
because that's correct.
GIF. Yeah, because it's like a GIF. It's
Graphic interchange format. Graphic. GIF. GIF. The peanut butter is pronounced GIF. GIF is GIF. Is there a word where the G makes a J sound?
I don't know.
Well, that was his big controversial statement was that everyone is wrong except him. It's GIF.
Makes sense. I'm good with that. Jerry, Gary, George. See, maybe Discord isn't such a great thing. Jester, Jim, Jim's right. Not Gim.
All right, I'm gonna need a GI word that makes the J sound.
Come on, Discord. You can do it.
Other than git. Shut up.
You just sabotage yourself.
I know. Gin. Fine. Well, if you know anything about American English and how it's defined as how the majority of people use it. Therefore, it's GIF.
I'm fine with that. We were talking about how smart our Discord people are, and we have some real smarties there.
A little too smart, if you ask me.
Huh?
A little too smart. Now they're just teasing.
Yeah. One of them is our friend here, Joe Ferguson, and I'm very excited. I read his article for next month. Talking a lot about testing. He's got a little testing article coming, and you're going to want to read that. That there's 3 articles in this coming month that if I weren't a subscriber to PHP Architect, this would be one of those magazines where I'm like, I need to get a subscription. You got Joe's article on. I know there's 4. Damn, I'm too big of a fan of PHP Architect and the writers of PHP Architect. You got Joe's article on testing. Edward Bernard's been doing this article. We talked about Solid earlier. He's been doing this domain-driven design series, DDD Alley. It's been really good. Tankersley is doing a license article, which I really thoroughly enjoyed. And then we have a contributor of a feature article about testing the PHP core. So how testing's done with PHP core. And they walk you through like cloning the repo so you have like all the C code and how to run the test. And, I've been waiting to kind of get into PHP core for so long. Like I said, this April is going to be one of those months where I would like renew my subscription if I hadn't renewed it yet. I gotta stop being such a fan of the contributors of PHPArg because I don't feel like I'm critical enough of their topics because I'm like, I read them like, oh, this is fantastic, man. I'll pay to read this. I need to stop being such a fan.
So you were talking about trying out Pest for testing, weren't you?
Yeah, the client, we talked about it a little bit last week. They're just kind of going back and forth between Pest and PHP Unit. So they're kind of leaning more towards PHP Unit just to kind of get that foundation of writing PHP Unit test. But they're open to using Pest. So I'm not looking at Pest yet. I'm still kind of doing the PHP Unit stuff. But I probably need to look at Pest at some point.
So I saw an article. I'm trying to find this, but I saw an article that was talking about a new feature of Pest.
Oh, it would have to be in Laravel News if it's anywhere.
I'm looking, man.
Do you know remember what the feature was?
I can't remember what it's called, but it allows you to test with a special do expect throw.
Oh, I saw this. Where did I see that at? Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I can't remember what it's called though, and I'm just pulling up blanks on Laravel News.
I'm pretty sure I saw it in on Twitter. I think it was a plugin. I think Pest has this concept.
There it is.
Plugins?
Given when then is a plugin for Pest.
There you go.
So you name a scenario, given create user, when the user is activated, then assert that the database has the activation record for that user. I like this format. It's a little bit cleaner than the way PHP Unit is handled with Laravel right now. I'm just wondering, does Pest work within PHP Unit?
Yeah, it's kind of a layer on top of PHP Unit.
I'm wondering if I could start writing stuff in Pest and keep the old stuff in PHP Unit working the same way.
Yeah. That's you can mix and match them easily. It's not an issue.
I might have to try this out then, because I like how simple it is. It's these little short functions that define things quickly and then give an expectation back right away.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my tests are too big.
Given when then. That sounds like what was that style of testing where it's like natural language gherkin or something?
Gherkin?
Yeah. That sounds very gherkinly to me.
Yeah. Gherkin has some weird limitations. It's kind of like it's designed for people who don't know how to write code to write it. But like I do so much factory based stuff, and like I couldn't imagine trying to support Gherkin with how much data I create to test something and then tear down.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah. All right. I don't know. I think that's good.
Had some trouble running PHP Unit and Pest together.
Joe
But he
doesn't
had
know
to
what he's talking
prepare
about. He drinks a lot, and he has a lot of cats too. So
That's okay. Neither of those things means anything.
no,
You can have lots
felt
of
like,
cats and drink a lot and know what you're talking about.
felt like they were relevant at the time.
I don't think so.
Yes, Joe says running PHP unit on my pest tests blew up. I had to run them in pest. Well, wait, no, that makes sense. What he just said. He said running PHP unit on my pest tests blew up. So I assume he's trying to say he's trying to run his pest test through PHP unit instead of running pest through pest. Am I understanding you correctly, Joe? I mean, that's just like, yeah, that.
Well, they don't. It's not directly compatible in the same file as a PHP unit thing is. Is what he's saying. It takes two different executions. It's not just the.
Well, but I
artisan
think if you do artisan test, oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know if artisan test runs pests. I thought if you ran pests, it ran your unit test as well, but I could be wrong. I haven't looked at it in a while. Eric, you said you could run PHP unit and pest test side by side. I'm saying you can't run PHP unit or on pest tests. Okay.
Yeah, so it's its own standalone command.
Yeah. Maybe I misspoke. Yeah, I basically, yes, you're right. Okay, I get what you're saying.
We talked about that PHP in 100 seconds thing. That the YouTube video PHP 100 seconds.
Oh, JMac. No. Was that the JMac thing?
No. It's Fireship.
Okay.
And how not a great video it was.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody posted a blog post on Reddit this week that was called Modern PHP, and the subtitle is, "While I wasn't paying attention, PHP got quite good." And this person is saying the last time they played with PHP, it was around 2017, and it was just within the context of supporting some WordPress sites. I'm like, okay, so you weren't really developing in PHP. Like you were developing in WordPress.
Yep.
And then the final thing, he lists off all these features that he likes and how nice they are. But then the last sentence is the one that really kills me about this kind of article, of which, yes, there are a million, but this is the worst. He says, although I'll mostly be working with Laravel and its extensive library, watching the language grow is lovely. And I'm like, what do you mean, although you'll mostly be working with Laravel? Laravel's not a different language. You're still using all of these features.
Well,
and
I
this
think
functionality.
I think what he's saying, he's saying essentially what you're saying about WordPress development. It's like you're not really.
That's a very different. WordPress has its own domain-specific language around all of the templates and the plugins and all the functionality. It is its own language in a very real sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I also find it funny, WordPress developers who consider themselves developers because they can go into the admin panel and do things. It's like, yeah, you're not writing PHP code. You're not a developer. That's just me being mean.
I don't think it's mean. I think it's just, I know a lot of people who make, $50,000 a year supporting WordPress sites. And it's like,
yeah,
it's, I'll tell you that the WordPress Stack Overflow is very different than the PHP Stack Overflow. There's not a whole lot of PHP in the WordPress Stack Overflow.
No. Well, we were talking about user groups earlier. A WordPress user group, like the couple I've gone to, is very different than a PHP user group or Laravel user group. It's a lot of talking about templates and configurations and not so much coding talk.
Right, like which is the best store to implement, not how do you create a store.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like to smash on other PHP communities, but yeah, WordPress I struggle with a little bit.
Really do. Really do. I mean, it's a GUI from start to finish. You can be a WordPress developer without an IDE.
Yeah, I mean,
totally.
Matter of fact, yeah, things like Git and IDEs that probably only hinder your experience.
Yes.
All right, man.
Final
We need to wrap it up
for the show. Fuck WordPress developers.
Oh, there we go. We got the F bomb in there. Now, YouTube's not gonna like us. All right, that's it.
Is that it? Is that really it?
I feel like that's it. I feel like we did a good job with just the two of us.
I do. I have a more controversial topic that I will save.
Good.
It's there is some discussion about stripping types out of PHP before executing it.
Oh, is this one of the things on the mailing list? I think I saw this.
Yeah, and it's a rough thread to read because there are a lot of people who don't understand how types work, like in a language, let alone in PHP.
I have to see. I had to do news noteworthy this for April. I think I actually added that news note. No, arbitrary string. No, that's not what you were talking about. Never mind. That wasn't it. All right, cool, man. Well, let's save that for next week, and we'll talk about it then.
Yes, we will.
All right, that's it for episode 279 of PHPUgly. I'm Eric.
I'm Tom. Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
You can probably just keep that running and just turn down the volume.
Well, now I can't.
1, 2, 1, 2.
What is happening?
To break it down for y'all, yo, the second.
It only goes for.
It was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing now.
Yeah, Harry Mack starts and ends that loop.
Oh, okay.
So it's in the middle. No
Yeah.
big deal.
No idea what I'm doing. Oh boy.
Wait, so you want to get mad at me? I
Hold
haven't
on.
talked about it on the show.
Let me go to the bathroom first, so I don't piss
Okay, I'm
myself
gonna
with anger.
Open up my door. People, it is getting hot in SoCal. I got news for you. it was up. I think it was up to 90 where I live today. Fortunately, my new house seems to be pretty well insulated, and it stayed fairly cool inside the house. But I walked outside a couple of times. It was like, wow, 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 wow. All right, Trello. No, Discord. Kaylin, go to bed. You're up too late. You work too hard. Kaylin is a Diego Dev, like I said, second Diego Dev employee. So, Kaylin, how long have you worked for us now? We've been a company for 10 years. I gotta think you have to have been with us for at least 7, maybe 8 years now. Like 7, yeah. Yeah. Ran you out of the country, but you're still with us. Hey, oh, one of my kids just walked in. I'm streaming. If you want to give me a kiss.
I'm sorry, I realized you're streaming.
Good to see you. Come here, give me a kiss.
I'm sorry.
Give us a kiss. Hello.
Tom says hello.
Hi, Tom.
Discord says hello.
Hello, Discord.
What's your name in Discord? I forget.
Eric's child. I don't
Eric's
know.
child. This is Eric's child in Discord.
Hi, I'm Evan.
Eric's Spanish-speaking kid.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were still streaming, or I would have poked my head in here.
That's all right. Well, we're done. This is after show stuff.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. So, all right. So I haven't talked about it a lot on the stream. I think I've mentioned it once or twice.
I'm still streaming.
Yeah. Well,
Put
on
that
the
out
show. On the show. I've gotten like I don't know why it took me so long. So there's 2 things that have like really changed how I work on my desktop now. When I started moving, and I knew I was going to be transitioning from places where I lived, and John took my desktop, and I was going to do all that remote work.
Sure.
I started getting more serious about tmux, and
Oh boy.
before that time, I'm like, why would anybody use tmux? It's like you can do everything with just about any terminal emulator now, where you can split a screen, or have tabs.
You can do tmux in a normal terminal emulator.
Yeah. So I never bothered to really kind of get my head around tmux, and now I can't live without it. I actually have like 3 or 4 tmux sessions I spin up, where I'll create a tmux session per client. I got my general tmux section,
Yeah.
and then I have like this like trash tmux session. But not only that, so I feel like we talked about it on the show when we were talking about ZSH and how I use all my ZSH.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
I've been using the Vim mode from the command line. So like my entire terminal is in Vim mode, which allows me to like scroll through my history or back and forth on the line. Dude, I can't remember not using this. It's so crazy. So between that and tmux and Vim, I'm like finding that like nirvana of development of working, where it's like I almost feel like I could take my System 76 desktop and it'd just be like a remote server I terminal to, and I would be just as happy.
You're getting gray hairs, man.
Right? That is like that old graybeard freaking mentality, man.
Oh no, I had a graybeard tell me, why are you using a local terminal? And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, just spin up an X session and have the X session on your desktop connect to your other desktop, your other machine, and run X. Run everything
like that.
Yeah, run everything through X sessions. It's much better than just having a local terminal, because if the terminal crashes, you can still close it and open a new one. I'm like,
right.
Like, fuck, man, I don't care. I really don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, like It's that Linux complication thing. It's like as you learn more about Linux, you make things more and more complicated, but it seems less complicated to you.
I was going to say, it doesn't feel like it's more complicated. It actually feels like it has simplified my life, especially Tmux. Like, it's so crazy.
Yeah, when you've got it
can't believe
running.
Huh?
When you have it running, sure. Like when it's set up and running and everything, it's your life is much easier. But like setting it up from scratch, not easy.
No, it's super simple. Come on, Tmux. Are you talking about Tmux?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'll agree. I'll agree with you with Vim, but Tmux is. I mean, like the only thing I would strongly recommend with anybody with Tmux is changing your binding key. Besides that, I don't do a whole lot of craziness with my Tmux configuration.
Hold on, one sec. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, never mind. Not wearing the headphones I wanted to look at. There we go.
I gotta get. Let me go full screen with you, Tom. I need a picture. I need a picture of you. Okay, so take your headset off and give me like no, don't take it off yet. Give me like a magician face. Like it's.
Right.
I think I want to go with the whole Bad Magic title.
Do you want me to darken the room so you can cut me out?
No, you're fine. It'll cut you out fine.
All right.
All right, put your headphones on. Do it again, but don't do the hand gesture. Give me that face though. That face was perfect.
All right.
Because I'll probably superimpose you on like a magician body. Perfect. That was perfect. All right, cool.
It's on the eyebrow.
It's on the eyebrow. Oh, man, I wish I was a better looking person.
We all do.
All right.
We all wish you were better looking.
I was just telling Discord how hot it's getting out here. I think it was up to 90 degrees today.
Is it?
Oh my god, it's so hot. Let me see. Menifee. Oh, actually, I have it right here on my desktop. Weather. So tomorrow it should get up to, what is the forecast? Tomorrow it's going to get up to 87. 87 tomorrow.
I don't know what we're gonna. It's been nice here. I'm a little warm because I'm dressing a little nicer. Because one of the things about working from home is I don't like pay attention as much to what I'm wearing. So my whole day today, I was wearing this shirt and these shorts.
Just blended in, huh?
My wife.
My biggest concern is if you're not wearing the shorts now, what are you wearing? Don't show
got pants. My wife was saying I looked like her little toasted marshmallow, which was a very sweet way of saying a lot of things at once.
Well, let me stop. Damn, you didn't tell me that I have to stop Zencaster.
Oh, I thought you did.
I got to go edit that shit.
Man, I need to get 2 new pairs of headphones.
Why do you need 2 new pairs of headphones?
Well, my meeting headphones, my Slack or my Zoom headphones broke. So now I'm using these wireless ones. But they're micro USB. They're not USB-C, and I really don't have anything micro USB anymore to like charge with. It's like I have to dig up a cable for it. Luckily, it's got like 12 hours of battery life, and my meetings are like an hour. So I've gotten through 2 weeks without being able, without needing to charge it. But and then these, which I really like, these monitor headphones I've been using forever. The cat has chewed through them, and they're gonna go. Like they're gonna go at any minute. When they do, I'm just gonna have an Xbox headset on.
Oh, I think I have to do my little Canva trick here. Okay, let me grab you first. Keep thinking
Might be going
about streaming. Huh?
Going to Hawaii in July. So there's
You
gonna
are?
be so there's gonna be an episode where I won't be around.
Why are you going to? How are you going to Hawaii? What are you talking about?
My brother lives in Hawaii, and my mom wants to do a big family like get together. So
Okay,
she's sporting that whole thing.
cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's also where a lot of the interest in the house is coming from, is that my great aunt passed away and they just finished selling her house in LA.
Mhm.
So I'm going to get some money from that to go down towards a house here.
Chrome has stopped
You
responding.
dropped. Yeah, you are gone.
Yeah, Chrome has stopped responding. It wants me to force quit. So I might need to say goodbye to you and to Discord.
Just join back in.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll be right back. Let me see what happens.
Yeah.
Here. It's not letting me force quit. That's not good. Okay. How did I kill process? Chrome?
Kill -9 Chrome. So I still hear you. Did you get the Zencaster tracks? Oh, there we go. All right, guys. It's just me and you now. I don't know what that means, but it's just me and you. Hi, Kaylin. How's Canada? Canada. So we were talking about staying, like whether or not we're staying in Colorado. I think if we moved out of Colorado, we would go to Canada.
Hey, I'm back.
I don't know if they're taking new U.S. citizens though.
What's going on with my weird little layout?
I'm at that stage with the kids where they're like never home.
Mhm.
And it's interesting considering just changing the locks. I think if I was going to Canada, I'd go to Toronto or Ottawa.
Oh, dude, Vancouver. Oh my God.
Vancouver?
Vancouver.
Remember, I'm not a city person. I'm a town person.
It's a city in the city, but no, it's not like a city like you think of a city. I mean, it can be. Man, we went up to Vancouver. We seriously considered for a hot minute of moving up to Vancouver. I really liked it up there. Now, to be fair, I haven't been to Toronto or any of those other places, so
There's a house in Vancouver.
it's pretty much on par for San Diego. It's not cheap.
Really?
Vancouver is definitely not cheap. No, yeah, not cheap at all.
Well, the first listing is 5-bedroom, 9-bath, 33 million Canadian. Oh,
Yeah.
they don't use periods.
They don't use periods. What do you mean they use periods?
Maybe they do. I can't tell. 2 bed, 2 bath, 600,000. That's a lot.
2 bed, 2 bath. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, they're not cheap. It's definitely not a bargain to live there.
Yeah, but 33 million for a 5 bed, 9 bath. Why would you have so many more bathrooms than bedrooms?
I don't know, man. Not looking at the
Here you
listing.
go, 20 million for 12 bed, 12 bath.
Do you need that many bedrooms? You planning on starting a cult or something?
Starting. We're expanding, baby.
Oh, you want to hear something funny? I watched an old I watched what was the hell is the name of that British reporter? Anyways, he was doing a whole thing on Scientology, right? And they're like, and he goes to the Scientology ranch.
Oof.
And he's like, yeah, we're here in Hemet, at the Scientology ranch. I'm like, Hemet?
Oh,
Like,
Hemet.
Hemet's
That's
like,
I forgot that it's in Hemet.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like literally like 2 exits up from where we live. I'm like,
Yeah.
where? What? And I'm like doing a Google search. I'm like, holy crap, we live that close to the ranch.
Well, but Hemet's a hellhole.
Yeah. Everybody here. I mean, I'm sure I've been there. I wouldn't know the difference. Like,
Yes,
I'm like,
you
I'm
would.
at that stage where I don't know when I'm somewhere.
Hemet is like when you're building a Sim City, and it's
Mhm.
all trailers, and then like you build a commercial district, and all the trailers upgrade to houses, but it's still the people who were living in the trailers in the houses.
Okay.
It is the redneck side of California. It is very weird there.
Oh yeah, this whole area is borderline redneck California. But yeah, so yeah, I thought that was pretty funny to see.
Oof. Scientology is scary. I don't mess with them.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about it. I of course I see all the hype and stuff around it. I don't care for much.
Caitlin, where are you at in Canada?
In Canada? He's in Vancouver. Or around Vancouver.
So you're just paying for him to live in the most expensive place in Canada?
Oh, and we're paying him in Canadian. And if you haven't checked the exchange rate, it's hurting a little bit right now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so we pay him in Canadian. Yeah, I think the exchange rate right now is what is it? 80 cents, a dollar Canadian is only 80 cents US. So to pay him a dollar, we have to pay like, $1.20 or whatever it is.
Just doesn't seem like he's worth it anymore.
No, we love Kaylin. Trust me, my life is so much easier because of Kaylin. I can't even like joke too much about it.
So, I like Zillow and all, but you can't filter by has high speed internet, which is like a requirement.
I thought you could, but yeah, you're right. That was actually one of the things we kept looking for. So yeah,
has basement, has pool. Oh wow, basement's hard to get in Vancouver.
Man, I would move to Vancouver so quickly.
Max HOA fees. See, but they have all this like, does it have a view of the mountains? Like, I don't care if it has a view of the mountains. I can download a view of the mountains if I got gigabit. Wow, that's expensive. And you're right with that exchange rate right now. That is not great.
No, it hurts. the stuff you when you start running a business, the stuff that like keep you up at night is weird.
Switch to Bitcoin, man. Pay everyone in Bitcoin. and bill everyone in Bitcoin.
Oh, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Here, I'm going to share this. I'll share this in Discord. Actually, let me. Oh God, I love doing I just love doing the stupid.
You know what? You haven't really done yourself.
I've done myself a couple times. Let me see here. What do I have? Oh, there it was right there.
Oh yeah, you just did the baseball one. Oh wow, that's 3 in a row of you. Never mind.
Is it 3 in a row of me?
Oh, this is a bunch of you.
Careful.
I was talking to somebody the other day about the effect of putting your face on the YouTube video, and it's like a 30% difference.
It's huge. It's so huge. Yeah. Yep.
Let's see the video. So the no benefits, all the regret, 99 views. So 269 is 99 views, and then 270, which has a picture of you, is 134.
So weird.
I mean, that's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. What did I say the title of this one was? PHP Bad Magic? I think that's what I said. PHP Bad Magic. Let's do that. Oh, dear God.
It seems that pictures of me seem to pull a lot of views.
Is that a whole car crash thing?
No, that's not true.
No?
No, it doesn't look like it. I know we don't have enough. We don't have enough data.
279. 279. 279.
Schrodinger's Flamingo. That is a great title. 268.
PHP Bad Magic.
You know what I was doing these interviews, and in both of the interviews, I asked people their opinion of Laravel, and they said, "Man, I love Laravel," and it's like I just don't like even hearing that. And I had to like sit and think about whether or not I loved Laravel, or like how I would describe my relationship with Laravel.
You love it.
I really like it, but it's the circle jerkiness of it really bothers me. Like the Laravel subreddit. I know
that's not the framework. That's
the subreddit though just gets me sometimes. Like there's a post. There's the second top most rated post this week. Is can I just say what a joy Laravel's testing tools make API development? And it's just like it's just a spurging like, I love it. I'm like, yeah, it's great. Why is this the second most important thing that happened with Laravel this week?
Oh, Tom, I can't get your top. Oh, I'm struggling here, Tom. Struggling. Let me see here. All right, I'm gonna have to. Oh, guess what we had happen today? First time. I have friends. This is not a new thing with friends, but for the first time since living in Southern California, I walk outside and we had a snake. I almost stepped on a snake.
Snake.
Yeah. Damn, that's not looking good. All right, Discord. I need some opinions here. Hold on. All right, let me upload this one first. All right, tell me which one you like better, Discord. Are you gonna like this one, or would you like? Would you like this one?
Here's a question on the Laravel subreddit. How to fit images to square without cutting out edges.
I don't know what that means.
It means they're trying to resize the image without cropping, like without maintaining the aspect ratio. It's like,
All right, Discord. I got 2 images coming your way. Where the hell did my Discord go? I don't have Discord open anymore. There you go. Here's Vancouver. Sorry, Eric. You know, Keelan, I don't really care. Don't care. I don't care about you as much as you think I care about you. That's not
he
true.
loves
I love
you so very much.
I do.
We all do.
All right, Discord. Tom, this includes you. Which one do you like? It's uploading. It's taking forever. Come on. There we go. Which one?
Number 1.
Okay. It's your face, so I'll let you pick. First one. All right.
You got the glasses. That's impressive.
I got the glasses. I do want to throw the logo on there, though. Gotta have the logo. I'm gonna flip this guy and put him up here in the corner. All right. All right. That will be our thumbnail. I can't upload it until we stop the stream, but that will be the thumbnail when we stop the stream. So anybody still hanging out with us on Discord, I imagine John will be back next week. So
I don't
hoping
know.
he'll be back next week.
He does seem to temper the conversation. I always complain about how little John says in the podcast, but I think it's the small things he says that speak volumes.
Well, he's changed over the years too. I mean, I think we went the first 100 shows. And if he said 50 words, I would be surprised.
Well, that time we got him high really screwed things up.
What the hell? Oh, come on. Gmail just changed. What? Everything starts here. What the hell is going on?
He
What
just
is-
got a forced upgrade.
Yeah, I did. Big time. Chat. Oh, chat's here now. Conversations.
So Docker released this like, hey, if you're on an M1, try out our new Mac Mojave file system thing. And I realized I wasn't on the latest Mac OS, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I updated and then upgraded Docker.
Do you have the M1, right?
Yeah. So I upgraded Docker. I've got probably a 45% improvement on my test suite from it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down to about 3 minutes for a full run.
How's the Docker experience? Is it doing better?
Seems to be. I mean, again, I really don't use it as a web server that much because it's all API stuff.
Oh, hey, you want to hear something funny?
Yes.
The winner of we did the drawing for the Raspberry Pi last week. He's an SDPHP member. He lives down in Imperial Beach.
So you don't even have to mail it; just hand it to him.
That's what I told John. I'm like, drive your ass down there and give it to him. Yeah,
Makes us seem biased, though.
it does a little bit. All right, I need to get
My
going.
my user group here is officially dead and gone.
Well, I mean, it's not dead and gone. It's just,
No, I mean like the domain name expired, the meetup.com membership expired.
I'm
Everything's
still
gone.
I'm still holding on to the San Diego Laravel user group domain we had.
I'm sure you could spin it back up again and you'd get a lot of new people.
Yeah, maybe.
What's your COVID shutdown situation?
Yeah, it's
Does
pretty
anyone
much
care?
done. No, I actually, as a matter of fact, I'm doing the editorial for April, and I talk about how for the first time in like 2 years, I was sitting in a restaurant not wearing a mask. My servers weren't wearing a mask. No, there are like very few masked people in there, and it felt weird.
Well, I told you they built an In-N-Out by my place.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the plexiglass shields are gone now. They took all of them down. And no one's wearing a mask there anymore. But here's the funny thing. So after like a year of In-N-Out being open, they opened a Whataburger like a month ago. Yeah. Is that there's the whole burger war between Texans and Californians in Colorado. And In-N-Out is empty. It is
that's good.
Dead.
Good. I like In-N-Out better than I like Whataburger. I've had Whataburger.
I'd love to have Whataburger. The line for the drive-through is an hour and a half long. The city closed off a street to turn it into a drive-through for Whataburger. I shit you not.
I believe you.
I need to build a SaaS.
I need to get a commercial put in here. Oh man, we've gotten so good at this, dude. There's a commercial. Boom, boom, boom. How do you get in touch with like marketing groups of companies? Because I need some advertising and
marketing company name.
Marketing at the domain.
Yeah.
We need some ads for PHP Architect. I don't know. I'm thinking DigitalOcean, and I mean just shit like developers use, like JetBrains and just all those people. They should all be advertising in PHP Architect. I don't know why they're not. I need to.
Jira is Atlassian.
Atlassian, I do Atlassian. I mean, the problem I have with Atlassian though is like that's not like something that a individual developer would necessarily do. That's more like a company sort of thing, which I'm not opposed to. I just don't think it's as appealing.
I mean, it's the About Us pages pretty much have everything you would want.
See, I looked at I was looking for DigitalOcean was what I was looking for, and I just could not find like a marketing person. And then on top of it, it's like, God, man, I don't want to be that email of, hey, I don't want to bother you, but give us some money and we'll advertise for you. I don't want to be that email. I really want to just meet these people and just say, hey, you want to advertise with us? You want to, like, we're gearing up for Tech 2023. I mean, that's going to be a thing, and we need to pay for it. So it's like, I don't want to say, hey, do you want to sponsor this conference? I know it's like been years.
Have you read books on how to find a sponsor?
I absolutely have not, Tom. You really, really overrate me.
Wow. Okay. Google. Now let's see what DuckDuckGo says.
What are you looking at?
Hold on.
Okay.
I searched for how to find a sponsor. Oh, I don't like that at all.
That's my point, man. I don't want to be that person.
No.
What are you seeing?
So on Google, my first match is how to find sponsors for an event. And then the next 10 are how to find an alcohol and drug recovery sponsor.
Maybe Google just knows you too well. It's like, oh, is that
so
guy in Colorado?
That's
You
why
might
I
want to
checked.
help him.
That's why I checked DuckDuckGo, because I typed in the same thing on DuckDuckGo, and it's all how to find sponsors for your event, for your magazine, for your podcast. Like the finding an AA sponsor comes up 10th. So I don't like Google's opinion of me right now.
It's just concerned for you.
I don't like that an algorithm is concerned for me.
Oh man, that's too funny.
You know, just because we don't use those transcription tools in our podcast doesn't mean that Google isn't automatically transcribing them and then indexing them for who I am and what I'm talking about.
Fun fact. We are using them. I just haven't posted them.
Oh.
I've been transcribing our podcast for years. My thought is, I'm thinking about at some point.
My thought is I'm a data hoarder and I can't help myself.
Yeah, that's it. But I'm thinking about pulling it in and putting it through. We were talking about search engines, putting all the transcription through search engines, or creating a search index, so people can search our podcast for phrases. I thought it was a good idea. So I've been actually transcribing our podcast for a good amount of time now, like probably maybe for the past year. I don't know. But I haven't done anything with it yet.
Meanwhile, John is updating the chapters on our recorded sessions.
I need to get PHP. I really, really want to get PHP Roundtable going.
I'm going to write an article.
Ideas.
I'm going to write an article.
You promise?
Committing to it.
All right. That's what I like to hear.
I'm going to write an article about refactoring for abstraction. Or refactoring for redundancy. The thing I'm working on right now, where I'm basically taking an existing service and turning it into an abstract service, and then building on top of that for my new service. One of the first things I did was go through all the methods, because all the methods in the class are public.
Yeah.
So any method that wasn't used outside of the class, I made it private. That was step one.
Any method that's not used outside the class, you made it private. Protected. Okay, that's ballsy, but I mean, it makes sense, I guess.
Well, if it's not used outside the class, then it's not part of the interface, right?
I mean,
so then
I think your logic is sound there.
Yeah. So then I take the interface and I add all of the public methods to the interface, and now I have an exact interface for the service as it's currently implemented.
Not paying a whole lot of attention. I don't have enough brain power to process what you're telling me right now. I'm trying to edit a podcast, but
That's fine. I'm gonna watch BattleBots.
that's what my kid does. They stopped listening to the live stream because it conflicted with BattleBots.
What? BattleBots? My BattleBots downloaded 6 hours ago.
Well, I think they watch the live or watch it on whatever TV thing,
Hulu?
Broadcast thing it does.
Tubi, Roku channel, Hulu, Discovery Plus.
I don't know what they watch. I don't watch it, so it's a whole thing.
There's like 2 episodes left.
I really don't care.
It's been an interesting season.
Is that where just the robots just destroy each other?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm surprised that's still a thing, actually.
It wasn't for a long time, and it came back.
Oh my God, Tom! I'm sitting here for 10 minutes. Like, where is my third stream? Why can't I find my third stream? Oh my God, I can't believe I've been doing that. Oh,
You know what I want to get?
what an idiot! I'm such an idiot. What do you want to get?
I want to get a PHPUgly rubber duck.
PHPUgly rubber duck. What would that even be?
It'd just be a logo, like a nerd looking
rubber duck.
like a nerd duck with a PHPUgly logo.
Hey, hold on,
So
let me
you
listen
can-
to this for a second. God, I'm so good at this now. It's so ridiculous. I'm almost done editing the podcast. Stupid. Oh, you know what I need to do? That I do need to save it before I lose it, because I will lose it. Why do you want a PHPUgly rubber duck? We do need some swag. I keep telling you that
We should have-
Patreon, how's that swag story?
Well, set it up. I don't have access to any of that anymore. It's all
Oh,
2FA
okay.
based.
What the Patreon is? Yeah, that's true. But
Here. PHPUgly logo on this thing.
what? Where you at? Slack?
Yeah.
Techie rubber duck promotion.
$250 per unit.
Really?
Setup fee of $40. I don't like it. The tie is not.
I don't like the earpiece either.
I don't like the mouth on the ducks. They look like well, no, all the mouths on all those models look like the inflated the models on Instagram.
The duck face.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Yes.
it's the duck face, but like it's overdone.
Let's see that real fast.
There's a bunch of companies that make custom rubber ducks. Most of them are hideous.
Well, there we go, fellas. Oh, I gotta find.
Rubber duck programming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
familiar with it.
I have a little thing I try to use for rubber duck programming, but I still end up calling my buddy and being like, "Man, this shit doesn't make sense."
I'm the same way. Yeah, like most of the things you see behind me at one point. This was my main rubber duck guy for a while.
This was mine.
It was yours. Smurf. Mine was the angry
Smarty.
guy.
Smarty Smurf. Oh,
Yeah.
anger.
But yeah, all he would tell me is call John. You're worthless. Shit. Tom, where did we end the show?
We said keep it
Where
ugly.
I know I can't find it. I left it running for too long. Gray hairs.
They've got
That was
little plush
that was after the
elephants.
show, right? Oh, there's my kid walking in the
Yes,
room.
that was after the show. Your kid walked into the room at like 5 minutes past the end.
Yeah, it's too late. I already truncated silence. So, truncated silence. So all those timestamps are history. Mailing list. That was during the show, wasn't
Oh my
it?
god. What
What?
a nightmare. Okay, this one goes in Discord. This is a fever dream.
Here we go. I'm Tom. That was the worst Keep It Ugly ever, but that is where it ends right there. All right, let me take a look at what you're talking about, tracks.
That is horrifying.
Okay, Discord? You posted Discord?
Yeah.
Wild Republic Rubber Ducks Bath Toys. I mean, it's ugly. I mean, you can't go. I don't see how you go wrong there. That's perfect.
I mean, it's an elephant, but like,
it looks like a rubber duck wearing an elephant suit. Is that what it's supposed to look like? I think that's what it's supposed to look like.
I don't know. It looks like a rubber duck bred with an elephant and then died 5 minutes later. Like it looks like it didn't live long, for sure.
Hey,
the lips like that on an elephant is terrifying. That is going to haunt me. Instead of the teeth falling out dream tonight, I'm having that dream.
Teeth falling out dream. That's one of your dreams.
Oh yeah.
That works. All right. Boom. Just like that. And we are done with our edits, I think. Is that right? I'm serious, man. I've got to stop being such a fan of the contributors to PHP Architect. I don't know why I think it's bad, but I don't think I'm giving it like an objective, like I don't know, man. It's like I get so excited every time I read a lot of the articles.
I think that's okay.
You think? I hope so.
I think so.
Man. I just don't. Yeah, it's just yeah. I guess I'm too passionate about it. Maybe I don't know. I don't understand how everybody doesn't have a subscription to PHP Architect. But that's just me. I'm such a fan. I bought the company.
Codacy.
Yeah, Joe's got his. He has. What's it called? Codeception article he did. Like, oh man, I forgot about Codeception. I used to love Codeception.
I'm gonna remove that that npm package deleting files ticket.
You don't want to talk about that one?
That's just not interesting. It's like,
but it's like Russian. It's Russian developers. It's happening to.
I don't know, man.
It's fine.
Like, I just cleaned up a bunch of tickets that aren't worth discussing.
Yeah,
and
take
like,
it off.
I don't
You're
imagine
talking about mine,
getting,
right?
Yeah, I just don't imagine getting to that.
All right, take it off. That's fine.
Oh shit! You know what I didn't mention? Native Bayes, this really simple machine learning algorithm that, like, fuck, I could write 10 SaaS services just off of that.
Copy to. All right, let's give this one run through the service. Yeah.
It's just this proposal of having the PHP engine ignore types.
Uh-huh. It's gonna take.
It is the worst of Reddit. There's so much here that doesn't understand how anything works. they're like, yeah, you can massively improve performance by ignoring types in PHP. And I'm like, yeah, you can't massively improve performance. Like, your performance is in MySQL. That's where it is. Sorry. All right, I'm gonna run.
All right, brother. Take it easy. Discord, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you, Discord. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.